What's up, gang? Let's talk about something. Everybody's been talking about this disc rot article that came out by Joe Blow. Again, this is one of those things we've heard time and time again for years about our physical media getting disc rot. And, there was an article that came out a couple of years ago, maybe even just last year, and it was talking about the same thing, but it was telling us that DVDs should last longer than Blu-ray, should last longer than 4Ks, just due to the amount that's on these discs. I don't know what article that was. Maybe you guys can let me know in the comments if you remember that article. But it made it seem like the DVDs were the ones that were going to last the longest throughout time. But recently there was an article by Joe Blow talking about Warner Brothers particularly, about the way that certain discs were manufactured between the years of 2006 and 2008. So people are kind of freaking out because there's a long list of movies that people have that are supposedly not going to work anymore. I'm sure the conditions of, your living conditions might have to do with it, because I do have some DVDs from that list that right now still work. So I'm thankful for that, but there's one that I'm super nervous about right now. And that is Twilight Zone, the movie. This movie is just not easily available, easy to come by. This came out in 2007. I think a Blu-ray might have came out either the year later or at the exact same time as this. It was almost like, for some reason, I feel like it might have been like a pan and scan Blu-ray or something like that. But I don't own it, and it's long out of print. I think this might be out of print as well, but based on the stories revolving around Twilight Zone the movie and, a specific story, and they talked about the tragedy of this film on Cursed Film. So if you guys have not seen this documentary or this show, it was on Shudder. It might still be there, but they did come out with a physical media copy of it, and they talk about the tragedy revolving around Twilight Zone the movie. Now, again, this is the last time this movie has been available on physical media, was 2007 from Warner Brothers. I do know that maybe CBS kind of has some ties to this movie. Now, does Warner Brothers still own this? I have no idea. Could it be when I contact them about a replacement disc? I'm going to at least try because, again, I don't know the status of a movie like this. With the tragedy and stuff, are people just kind of staying away from this movie due to the story that came out during this Cursed Films documentary? I mean, I know everybody knew the story, but it really wasn't shed light on in a long, long time. So I'm not sure why this movie has kind of vanished on physical media. It really boggles my mind. Like, this would have, to me, had Scream Factory written all over it. I don't know where this is. I don't know the status of this, but it does make me super nervous that if this disc rot ruins this edition here, then this might be the end of Twilight Zone the movie for at least a good while. Because again, I don't know the problem on why this thing is still sitting on DVD from 2007. And like I said, there was a Blu-ray that came out probably around the same time that they haven't upgraded again. So hopefully somebody does take the reins on this title and put it out again in a brand new, nice edition. But a little nervous, guys, about Twilight Zone, the movie, because it's a really, really awesome film, and it's got a lot of great segments. It's got an all-star cast. So to have this thing gone forever due to disc rot really kind of makes me nervous. It almost reminds me of something like, I don't want this to become Cocooned, basically, where Cocoon was a movie that was bought by Disney, and you cannot get nor see this thing really at all. So again, I'm hoping that is not going to be the case for Twilight Zone the movie. Man, guys, let me know down below. What do you think about this situation? Have you tried any of your discs and them not work? Like I said in a live stream, I've had 2 discs in my collection not work for me, and that was House of a Thousand Corpses, and that was a Wallace and Gromit collection, which were both Blu-ray, by the way. They just stopped working. I did get comments of other people saying, oh yeah, that first edition of, House of a Thousand Corpses stopped working for me too. And maybe that's why they put out a nice edition a couple of years ago to replace, the ones that kind of stopped working. So again, those, I believe, at least Corpses, I think, was Lionsgate. So it wasn't Warner Brothers or anything like that. But guys, let me know your thoughts down below on this. Is there any movie on that list that you're a little concerned about because maybe it hasn't seen the light of day since that release between 2006 and 2009? Gang, this is Garrett at Born to Be Rad, and like always, stay